them are seats that women and minorities finally had an opportunity to come and sit in, because there were no seats at the table for us. So before you start wiping clean the menu and the plates and the seats, be very careful.
I don't care. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're women. I don't care if those seats were, filled with old white men for decades and decades, and then for the first time in decades and decades, a woman was able to win that seat. I don't care. Are they effective at their job or not?
She's right. I mean, that's just really the way to be about it, right? Are you effective or are you not?
He actually seemed a little irritated with you.
Primaries are a fact of life, but here's the thing. I'm going to really focus on trying to defeat Republican incumbents.
I think it's going to be a hell of a lot harder for us to defeat Republicans with a 27% approval rating, where we cannot simply go out there and say, look, guys, we're not Donald Trump. Vote for us.
Well, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries made clear that he is not a fan. He is not supportive of DNC Vice Chair David Hogg's efforts to primary ineffective Democrats in safe blue districts. Now, this comes after longtime Democratic strategist James Carville called Hogg a contemptible little twerp who should be sued by the DNC over his strategy idea.
So here's the thing. The DNC, the Democrats, have become, to me, a big joke. Of course, they were never anything more than a joke, to be honest. But they've become even worse. Like, they're literally not... Democrats are running all the way to El Salvador about the situation with this guy who was illegally here, right, and making him a hero when they could be over at the universities talking about the freedom of speech issues that are going on there. So that's why I have no respect for these people. These people are just here to perform, which is a sad case because this is supposed to be our representatives, whatever, and they're here to perform. So what kind of country is this? Anyway, this is Anna Kasparian lashing out, going off about Democrats. She also makes, she gets a little racial towards the end. I mean, hey, whatever. She has every right to feel how she wants. She's back. I wonder what's going on with Anna. She was gone for a little bit, though. She was gone for a while. She's constantly gone. And the leftists do talk about this, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Yes. And so who's right? David Hogg is right. Whether we agree with the particular candidates that he backs or not, the idea of having primaries is indisputably the correct one. But what I'm fascinated by is the pushback from the establishment.
I'm fascinated by that too, but I'm also fascinated by the lack of any questions, any journalist probing David Hogg in regard to what are you specifically looking for in regard to the candidates that would challenge the Democratic incumbents? Is it based on culture war stuff or is it based on economic stuff?
Yeah.
Or both. I don't know. But no one's asking those questions and it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I have answers to what my reaction would be based on whichever answer David gives. But it's funny because we heard all this talk about, oh, no, the Democratic Party, they really got to know when accounting after this stunning loss where they lost every swing state, the popular vote. And, there's like tons of articles in the New York Times and those kind of publications talking about, oh, the Democrats really need populists and a change, et cetera. But the minute you offer change, boo, terrible, protect the incumbent.
God, he's always doing that stuff. Like, it's just, there's no reason to act like this. Like, because it's all fake anyway, because you want to know what the answer is with the Democrat that they're going to get. Democrats who aren't going to go against Israel. Okay? Like, let's keep it real. Like, if y'all don't know this by now, like, that's what it is. That's what it is. Democrats who are going to run around and do whatever the establishment tells them to do. Okay? That's what it is. And it's cool. They could do whatever they want. I like it. I think it's a great idea. You know why? Because their base will notice, because these are Americans we're talking about here. I know everybody's like, oh, leftists are crazy. We don't like leftists and this, that, and the third. These are Americans we're talking about here. And I think that I'm ready for people to get just a little bit more angry. I want to kind of move on to Anna's position about this particular topic here that she's going to talk about here. The same thing that people talk about all the time.
In the press to discourage primary challengers to Democratic incumbents. Well, there's another trick that gets played. And I've subtly pushed back on it in the past, but I'm going to push back against it even more aggressively moving forward. And here's what I'm talking about.
What David is trying to do is to not just help to re-energize the party, but to help rebrand the Democratic Party. My position is many of these so-called safe blue seats, and I can get in trouble. Many of them are seats that women and minorities finally had an opportunity to come and sit in, because there were no seats at the table for us. So before you start wiping clean the menu and the plates and the seats, be very careful.
I don't care. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're women. I don't care if those seats were, filled with old white men for decades and decades. And then for the first time in decades and decades, a woman was able to win that seat. I don't care. Are they effective at their job or not? And if they're effective, they shouldn't be concerned about a primary challenger. If they're ineffective, they will be concerned. And if they're ineffective, they should be primaried regardless of their race or their gender.
And you know who agrees with you, Anna?
Come on.
You know who agrees with you? Donna Brazil agrees with you.
Does she?
Okay, here's why.
Does she?
Hold on.
Before Cenk adds his little 2 cents to Cenk right now is like, thank God she's still here. Like, this is exactly what I think that Cenk is thinking about Anna. It's like, oh my God, she's still here. She didn't leave me. Okay. So anyway, she's right. I mean, that's just really the way to be about it, right? Are you effective or are you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. We're still talking about, oh, we have to build our seats at the table. And, we had seats at the table, but he's trying to, take the Democrat Party and rebrand it a certain way. We had the fight. Rebrand it what way? Like, taking it back to the old white men. I never did look at the Democrat Party like that. Even when I was a little girl. See, but the thing is, like, no, I didn't. Yeah, the propaganda didn't allow me to look at it like that. I just always thought it was open to everybody. So what is this woman talking about? Like, nobody's going back to 1910. The thing is, though, what she needs to understand, again, is that they are going to find people who are beholden to a foreign entity. It's just that simple. You know how I know? Because of what they did to Cori Bush. And I did not like Cori Bush. And everybody's, but she was woke anyway. Woke. It's like, oh my God, first of all, please, can we get that word out of our vocabs? Like, okay, didn't Trump come? He said he ended woke, right? So can we stop that? But as woke and bad as she was, nobody ever primaried her for millions of dollars. Nobody ever funded millions of dollars into going against her. Before, when she was already saying a bunch of anti-American things, when she was saying stuff like, fossil fuels is white supremacy. I mean, that's when I was like, get rid of birthing persons. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody get rid of her. They didn't get rid of her then. But as soon as she went against Israel, AIPAC put in like hundreds, how many millions of dollars to get rid of her? So these are the people that they don't want people to talk back when it comes to Israel. That's why nobody's at the universities, and they're all the way down El Salvador. So miss me with all the, blackity black. Like, I don't care. Can I get a sovereign nation again? I'm just saying.
Explain why. Because when AOC and Ayanna Pressley were running against white men who were Democratic incumbents and served corporate donors, all of a sudden nobody cared about women or black people or Latinas or anything, right? You have to support the white men who are the wonderful incumbents of the Democratic Party. Now all of a sudden, you got people who might challenge incumbents, as some of them are black or women or something. And all of a sudden, they found a way to care about black people and women.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, I'm so worried that this is going to take things away from minorities. Yeah, you weren't worried when Cori Bush was being primaried.
Right.
You weren't worried when Jamal Bowman was being primaried. You weren't worried. In fact, you were worried about minority women winning the races against Joe Crowley, your beloved Joe Crowley, who was in Democratic leadership.
Should have talked about, again, why they weren't worried with Cori Bush being primaried, okay?
So please spare me your nonsense hypocrisy. I'm so sick of their lies. And guys, if you're a minority like I am, you should be extra mad at that BS. Because what they're using you as is a human shield. So, Hakeem Jeffries does the bidding of every corporate donor. You remember what he did right after the election? He went to Silicon Valley to beg the tech billionaires for money and say, well, what can we do for you, right? But if you criticize Hakeem Jeffries, human shield, he's black, you can't criticize him, you're racist. No, I can.
Yeah, but you're not talking about the whole story, Cenk, and that's why y'all all get on my nerves, so hold on a second, I got you. I'm going to help you out right now. the video out from what I was looking for with Hakeem Jeffries. It's so annoying. They pulled it from Twitter. It was pretty good too, because it was showing you Hakeem Jeffries talking to the Israel lobby about how he can get more black people to support Israel and everything. They gave him that task. These are the kind of people they want. This is the kind of people that look up $1 million for what? For what? $1.3 million? Hakeem Jeffries, what does he do that's so good? He's a clown. He's a tool. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about this stuff, you know, I would appreciate it if we can, you know, tell the full truth. And if we can't, then I don't know, man. Like, it's just like if you don't know the extra link, you just think that, oh, this is just happening. There's just a thing happening, and it's not just a thing happening. There's a reason why these things are happening. So that's what we provide here on this channel. Thank you for watching.